Good morning, everybody, or whenever you're watching this. I'm recording this in the morning. So, this took me a bit to figure out. If you say I wanted warm light from the left and blue from behind, and really took my time. I did this over many weeks, on and off, not continuously. I wish I can tell how much time I've actually spent on something. Maybe Procreate has this feature, I don't know. Another cover for one of my chapters of the graphic novel. And yeah, I took inspiration from an Andrew Zorn, and for that matter, I used an Andrew Zorn palette as well, trying to limit my options. Trying to get some dark and light statements, and yeah. So, I've been having a lot of fun lately interviewing people on the channel. I had a really good, my latest interview was a really good interview, but I accidentally and stupidly forgot to record it. So unfortunately, no one's going to see that. Hopefully they'll be around too. It was with Adam from Lucid Pixel, so that's unfortunate. And totally my fault, by the way. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. But if you're interested in that, if you're interested in conversations, check out my talk with Steven Zapata and Kristen Nee. They were pretty interesting. Short, but interesting. And I think it might be helpful just to hear a couple of people talk about art, about identity in art, how to approach art in a way that doesn't affect your self-esteem and whatnot. And it's just an interesting conversation. I've found and I've heard a lot of artists online talk a lot about feeling stuck, falling out of inner love, and not knowing what to do regarding social media and how to tie your identity as an artist to art making without judging yourself for when you don't meet your expectations. And I've had some good answers, introspective answers from different artists, and we had a really good conversation with a bunch of people. Hopefully I'll continue to do that because I enjoy that more for the channel. Let's face it, I mean, competing on here on YouTube and feeding this algorithm mainly based on art is not may have been a good strategy in the past when the art scene and art channels on YouTube were small, but I don't think that's the way to go here. I think there's a lot more unique approaches that could be taken that could be something different enough to be interesting rather than just, hey, watch me paint or watch me draw. There's a million of those. And frankly, I, as an audience member, don't want to see more. So I'm assuming a lot of us out there feel the same way. So where are we at with this painting here? I know I changed the woman in the background. Although the lighting is pleasant, I don't like her face at all. So she's going to go through some changes here in a bit. There it is right now. I often do stuff on a new layer on the side just to see if I can, so I don't have the pressure to do it right on top of a face and ruin it, and then I have two things ruined and all that stuff. So haven't figured that out. Still, by the way, I don't think this will be the final version. What I'm trying, I think what you're seeing me go back and forth on here is that this is a dark scene and it's lit by candlelight alone. So in reality, it won't be illuminate it at all. So I have to expose for dark. So I have to put a lot of the details in the dark, and that's something I'm trying to learn. It's very hard. And sometimes I get obsessed with sticking to what the realistic light and dark values, and I forget to take artistic liberties to, I don't think his right side needs to be this dark, and if this ever gets printed, it will be way too dark. So I chose to darken the background more to adjust for value, and immediately pop the values kind of pop up again. So there's still some illumination that needs to take place though, because there's a lot of loss of information here. Yeah, it's interesting to sit here and see your work being played back, because all I see are the things that I would do differently. But I'm pretty happy with this one. I don't mind it. So if you're watching this, drop me a line. Tell me if you're working on stuff, or if you just like to, or if you're watching this just for the, I don't know, relaxation. I don't know. I'm always curious, although the engagement is pretty low, who is watching and what kind of content they like to see. Not that I would cater to that, because frankly, I don't have the time, but it's just nice to know. Yeah, the paper he's holding, that was an interesting little challenge, because I wasn't entirely sure how the light would hit it, and it kind of looked like it looks a bit stiff, but I don't know how would anybody else solve that problem. I'm not sure. And as you can see, this is a very limited palette, and I think that's a hard thing to remember, for myself at least, when you're working digitally, because you open up that color picker and it's just all the colors in the world. And when you're doing digital stuff, you're not actually painting with color, you're painting with light. So the options are unlimited, and that's the great thing about digital, and that's the difficulty with digital, is that um, you can't limit your palette and therefore make a pleasing statement. And I find that it's interesting, the more experienced you get as an artist, the more you try to achieve simplicity and the more you're simplifying stuff. And as a novice, I think you're attracted to complexity because it makes one feel that they're doing something hard and therefore something worth viewing. Or at least that's the trap I fell into. It's also very rare, and I think this is my ADHD brain, to sit down in the beginning and figure out, okay, this is the plan. This is the plan for value, this is the plan for color, and this is the plan for uh, detail versus simplification. This is the plan for edges. Oh, I don't think I ever think that way, and I admire artists that can do that. I'm just too eager to start that all of that seems to me like getting in the way of me starting. But unfortunately, I spend a lot of time after the fact making decisions on the fly, And this trial and error period takes a long time. Thanks for watching.